And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm not really sure. Remember, the water was cold as it hit my feet and then it hit my ankles. And I began to go out a little further and the water hit my knees. And then I began to question myself and say, again, girl, what are you doing?
Everybody has a need for achievement, to do well, to get somewhere in life, to be better, to achieve.
Since I was 21 years old, I have a recurring nightmare. I'm not kidding you. So as cool as you might think my life is, I have a recurring nightmare that I've had for 26 years.
It happened. If you're weak, find a way to be strong, keep it moving, and conduct your business. When you are doing everything in your power to be the best makeup of yourself, it's always going to be an adversary that's going to try to take that away from you. Now the best way you can overcome this is having the faith. Now it doesn't matter what you believe in as long as it's something that's positive that's going to get you through. A lot of people don't have that ability to be strong. I'm not talking about the physical aspect of strength. I'm literally talking about the mental and, of course, spiritual aspect of strength. Don't let pride confuse your tears. You've got to let that out. Sometimes you've got to let it go. When I lost my mom years ago, that was the hardest thing that I had to deal with. And to this day, I still think about that woman that gave me life.
There's nobody out here. It's just you and this guy alone. He could drown you. At this point, I was thinking that, because I'd been in the water for a while, that my body would get, acclimated to the water, but it was still cold. So we went out a little further. He's not saying anything. It's spooky. It's like the Twilight Zone. And as I began to turn around and walk back to the shore, the guru grabs me by the back of my neck and he puts me under the water.
Achievement means moving forward. And in order to move forward, you must be motivated, inspired, ambitious. You must have dreams and goals that create ambition. Good ambition, positive ambition. Now, ambition does not mean being greedy. It does not mean being selfish. It does not mean getting ahead at the expense of others. Ambition is not greed. Ambition is not avarice, an all-consuming desire for wealth. Ambition is not hoping you can win at the expense of others. Do you suppose Judas was ambitious? He ended up with 30 pieces of silver, a fortune in those days. Was Judas successful because he had all that money? No, Judas sold out.
And I'm like, whoa, okay, this is different. And 30 seconds go by and he hasn't let me go. And 40 seconds has gone by and he hasn't let me go. 50 seconds, my life flashes in front of me. And just when I thought my life was over, boom, he pulls my head out of the water. What was this about? And he said, young man, I need you to answer this question for me. When you were underwater, what were you thinking about? When you want to succeed, as bad as you want to breathe, young man, then you will be successful in any area of your life.
Was Judas happy when it was all over with? No. The money didn't make him happy. What he did to get the money certainly didn't make him happy. What Judas became in the pursuit of his fortune caused him to end his own life. What drove him was not ambition. Ambition is not greed. Ambition is an eager desire to achieve, an eager desire to get ahead in life, to do more for your family, to prosper in health, wealth, and relationships. Now, desire does not always translate into ambition. Desire is what you want for yourself. A bigger house, a better car, a fatter bank account, a better life. I desire to have these things. Ambition is how you get there.
I have my moments when I'm happy about the good times, but I also have my moments when she left this world, but that's just one thing. That's just one circumstance. There are many circumstances I can talk about, but I continue to move on. Everybody gets knocked down no matter how tough you think you are, you're gonna fall, and when you fall, sometimes you fall real hard, but that ground is a hard surface. And I'm gonna tell you something, it ain't gonna move because you're laying on it, so you need to rise up and you need to rise above it and you need to start moving when you get knocked down. How long are you going to stay down when you lose your job, when you lose that loved one, regardless if it's your husband, your wife, your child, whatever it is? Do you have the ability to go through the hurt and the pain of that loss, regardless of what you're going through? the best time you know.
Did you help your kids with this? Is that something that you found a way to sort of educate on or pass down so that they would be asking a similar question instead of doing the sort of wander search thing?
Yeah, I have an unorthodox approach to what we did with our kids. We discussed this, my wife and I wanted to make sure that however they were raised, that they retained the curiosity of childhood into adulthood. Okay? Let's say there's a little toddler walking here, okay, crawling on the ground, and comes up and they start grabbing this. What's the first thing? No, don't touch that. Okay? This was an experiment waiting to happen that you just squashed. This is a cup, it has water in it. Okay? This is breakable. The kid doesn't know that. They want to experiment. So they'll grab it, it'll fall, it'll break, water will spill all over. That was an experiment you just prevented. They are experimenting with their environment. Everything is new to them. I saw a woman walking with their kid. The kid has galoshes on and a raincoat on, and they're coming down the walkway.
True story. And here's what the nightmare is. Now remember this, I'm a grown man. I haven't picked up a baseball bat in 20 years, right? I'm not even in good enough shape to play anymore. But here's the nightmare that I have, and I have it. Didn't you guys have that dream where like you know you're in the dream because you've had it so many times? How many of you have had that? Okay, here's mine. I'm somehow walking outside a stadium, a baseball stadium, and I can hear them announcing the starting lineup to a baseball game. I'm not kidding you. And I can hear the music playing and they say, leading off in center field, number 8. And I know it's me. I played center field here and I let off, right? Number 8, Eddie MYLET. And I hear him yelling.
You are strong as when you're at the weakest point of your life, when you are so far down the hole you're looking up and you don't see no light, but yet you know there's an end to this darkness. That's when you'll find out just how strong you really are. This is a process and you have to hurt just a little bit so you can understand what it means to be strong. So don't give up on your hopes, don't give up on your dreams, don't give up on yourself. Just keep moving forward. If you think that you're going through something so bad right now, wait until tomorrow. If tomorrow comes for you, look at the person next to you, look at people all over the world. If you ever come in contact with certain individuals and ask yourself, are they going through a lot more than what I'm going through? Because honestly, there are always going to be people that are going through a lot more than you're going through right now.
And there's this big, juicy, muddy puddle right there. And I said, please let the kid jump in the puddle. You know the kid wants to jump in the puddle. The kid is like 3 or 4. You know the kid, and what does the mother do? She pulls the kid around to prevent that from happening. That's an experiment in cratering. That's what craters happen that way. You splash the water, there's mud, it's fun. You get to see the cause and effect of a force, downward force operating on a fluid. Gone. That was a bit of curiosity in that moment that was extinguished. So, with our kids, curiosity, provided it does not kill them, if it meant we had extra work in front of us, I would do that extra work. And I have pretty high confidence that they'll retain that curiosity through the turbulent middle school years into high school. And what is an adult scientist but a kid who's never lost the curiosity?
But I can't get in the stadium. I'm like, I'm supposed to be playing, right? Like I'm supposed to be, and I cannot get in the door. Like I'm running around saying, look, I'm in my uniform. I'm in. They're like, we don't know who you are, man. I'm like, no, you need to let me in. They just announced me. I'm the starting center fielder, man. They're like, I'm sorry, man. We don't know who you are. You can't play. And then every single time I have the dream, I lap around the stadium trying to get back in to the game. Except I can't get in. This is a true story. I'm 47 years old. I had this dream last month. I had it the month before that. I had it the month before that. Okay? And then I wake up. And it's a nightmare. Every time I'm in the dream, I know I'm having it, but I can't get out of it. And the reason I have that dream is because I miss playing so much. And the real reason I have the dream is because when I was here, listen to me, okay? When I was here, I did not give it everything I had.
When you're down, find a way to get up. I've been there. I go through it like anybody else, but I have a job to do in this world, and so do you. The greatest, do you believe that? Do you really believe in you? Some people may not have the opportunity to believe in themselves because all their lives, many things has kept them down the greatest. I am the greatest. The greatest of who you really are. Do you really know who you are? Can you identify yourself? Do you see yourself less? Or do you see yourself more? Do you ultimately believe in you? Or do you let others control what you are and what they think of you? This is not the time to look down on yourself. This is the time for you to look up.